Hello, everybody, on this International Women's Day. Today is a wonderful day to celebrate all women, but typically, International Women's Day is a global day to celebrate the social, economic, cultural, and political achievements of women. And so, as women, we carry a lot of roles, we carry a lot of responsibilities, and we have a lot on our mind, and we multitask, and we have lots of things that we do as mothers, sisters, daughters, friends, cousins, all the things, right? And so we're taking today to really learn about things that we can do to help our body be the best it can be, to be all of the things for all of those people in our lives. And that's a lot. And so we're going to be talking about a variety of things today. But one of the things that I wanted to share with you guys, and let's see if I can pull up this graphic. I should have had it ready for you. But the top 5 concerns typically for women. Now, this might be something that applies to you now, but definitely I can tell you that if it doesn't apply to you or someone you know and love now, that if you don't take care of yourself and you don't put yourself first in many of these things that we're going to be talking about today, then these might be some issues that you could face in your lifetime. And I was just discussing this with Allie earlier. I would love to see that with our preventative lifestyle at Young Living and with the things that we learned from one another, that these statistics could change, that in the future, this doesn't even appear to be a problem with women and our health issues. So we're going to kick off. I'm going to have the call go over to Allie, and she's going to be discussing some things. We also have Melissa Kohler and then myself. And so we're going to be sharing a lot of things. I hope you have paper and a pencil, but of course we've got to the replay as well. So Allie, I'm going to kick it off back to you and let you take over on your portion.
Thank you. Okay, yay for women. So we get to do all the things, yay, but that means we also have to do all the things, boo, right? So we tend to stress ourselves out quite a bit. So we're going to talk about some foundational things that are so important so that we can keep those top 5 ailments out of our lives. And some of those things are very basic and you've heard them before, but we're going to give you some tips to make them easier and more fun because I like things to be fun. So let's talk about the first thing is drinking water. So I'm going to tell you some things that I do personally to make sure that I'm drinking enough water. I love fun, so I get distracted very easily. So I have to put systems in place so that I get the things that are important done in my life. That's how I function best. I've learned through many years of being myself that that's what I need. So for instance, I set all my supplements out for the entire month all at once, which helps me do a couple of things. One is it's all done. I just pick my day out. It sits by my toothbrush every morning. I grab my teeth, I brush my teeth, and then I take my supplements. And when I take my supplements, I pour in. So by the way, when I do that, I know what I need to order ahead of time because I see I've got at least 30 days worth. So it helps me plan my orders of what I need to order. So huge tip there. And then I put a splash of apple cider vinegar and citrus oils in a warm glass of water. My bathroom water actually is filtered, so I'm really lucky with that. So I have filtered water. I drink warm water and I drink the whole entire glass straight up with my supplements the first thing when I wake up in the morning. And this helps with digestion, by the way, as well, because if you're dehydrated in the morning, which most people are when they wake up, it's hard to eliminate unless you have some, liquid going there. So it helps with things moving in the colon. So also some things that I do is my family is obsessed with Vitality Drops. We order a ton of Vitality Drops. They taste delicious. And that's a super easy way if you like to have a sweet. My husband and my daughter especially love them because they like to have a little bit of sweetness in their drinks and it makes them drink a ton more water. So that's helping my daughter drink a lot more water too. She was not very good about it and now she loves it. My personal fave is the bergamot grapefruit flavor. And then putting citrus oils in our water. So I highly recommend that you look at, if you are an NIH person and you like to go like Google studies, PubMed.gov is it's a repository for studies. But if you look up citrus oils in there, you will find that they will help for almost everything on that top 5 list. They're super inexpensive, and they also help protect from viruses that are out in the world right now that people are worried about. So it's a super inexpensive way to do that. So drinking citrus oils in your water, whatever you like don't get picky. Like I don't care which one you pick, lemon, lime, grapefruit, doesn't matter. Just pick a citrus fruit and put that in your water throughout the day if you can. Okay. There are women as they age that tend to have issues with bladder control. I mean, I don't know why pushing out babies might affect that, but I mean, it does affect our bladder, right? So some of the things that you can do for that are, you've heard about Kegel exercises before. If you haven't, go look that up. It's spelled Kegel. But also we have some oily tricks, is that you can do the same thing for an older woman that you can do for a small child that is also trying to potty train. Great trick is to just swipe some cypress across the bladder area of the body. And I don't know how the magic works, but it works, and it helps trigger the brain so that accidents don't happen. Such a great trick. Highly recommend. Okay, so water and going to the bathroom. The second thing is food. Okay, womp womp. I know, I'm like the fun police here, but we do have to be cautious about what we're eating. And the great part is, if you start eating real food all the time, is that's actually what you'll start to crave and want, and you will become less and less interested in things that aren't good for your body. It's funny how that happens. So, and the key to that is eating healthy fats. So pastured butter, or ghee, if you are trying to stay away from dairy. Avocado is a great thing. And then fish oil fats. So things like the Young Living's Omega Gies, which has actually just gotten an update, and it's mackerel, sardines, and anchovies are the fish components in that supplement, which are fantastic omegas. And they're preserved with clove oil so they don't go rancid. So it's actually kind of a brilliant formula. But as you're getting enough healthy fats, you'll find that you are not craving sugar as much. You're not hungry all the time. You need those fats. I will tell you, I'm kind of anal about nutrition. My son was very, very sick as an infant, and I had to really delve into nutrition for him because I was nursing him, and I had to then, after he was done, feed him. And so I really started retraining my brain about fats. And instead of thinking, did I get enough vegetables today? Have I eaten enough vegetables? Which I'm always kind of in my head of what do I need to eat for this meal that I haven't covered yet in my diet for the day? I'm always thinking, what fat am I eating? I need to eat some fats. What is the fat I'm going to grab right now to eat? And that sounds so crazy because we grew up in the non-fat world. I ate non-fat forever, and I was the fattest I've ever been in my life when I was eating non-fat. By the way, all I ate was carbohydrates and sugar, and my body was just craving fat. So since I started eating fat regularly and purposefully, I thinned down. Isn't that amazing? So eat good fat. Okay, the other thing is sunlight. So we are told that the sun is bad and we should avoid it, and we're going to get wrinkles. Okay, so, yes, that is true. We should not get too much sun. And certainly we should not be doing what I did in middle school, where I poured, baby oil on my body and laid on trampoline. That's a bad idea. Okay, it's a really bad idea in so many ways, really bad idea. But there's a better way. And there's actually a great app especially if you're having your vitamin D checked and you find that you are low in D, which that is a supplement I feel like everyone needs to have in their game plan, is a good vitamin D supplement. Which, by the way, Young Living has Super D, but there are, let's just take a good D supplement. But there's also an app for your phone that's called D Minder. And if you are really struggling with your D, it'll tell you how much sunlight to get based on where you live in the world. And you can it'll give you a reminder that, hey, you need to go get some D for the day. And that literally may be 10 or 20, 10 to 15 minutes just with some skin exposed. So I highly recommend you look at that. By the way, take your shoes off, put them on the ground into the soil or on the grass, that's also really, really grounding. That's called earthing is what it's called. And it's really good at balancing your body. So why not earth and get a little D at the same time? Maybe you just set a reminder on your phone, like every, maybe twice a day, to force yourself to take a break. Drink a glass of water, grab a glass of water, go outside, sit in the sun, put your feet in the soil, set a timer or calendar reminder on your phone. That's how I like to do things. And just go take a little break a couple times a day, like when no one can bother you. Maybe you take your kids with you if you have your kids at home, or maybe you take your dogs with you, whatever it is that brings you joy. But these little things that you can do throughout the day have a huge impact on your mood, on your health, etc. And as speaking of, you could also make that an exercise break by just throwing on some tennies. And maybe you're tired. So maybe you grab some Ningxia Red and force yourself, like, I'm going to take some Ningxia, I'm going to get some energy, I'm going to take a nitro, I'm going to put some peppermint on, or maybe throw some amino wise in my water bottle, and I'm going to go for a nice little walk. Me personally, I have a crazy rule for myself. And that's why I'm dressed like I am right now. You can't see my pants. I'm still in yoga pants because I had an 8 a.m. Meeting this morning, but I have a rule that I will not take off my workout clothes for the day until I've worked out. I know it's crazy. I have an elliptical machine. I walk in my neighborhood, even if it's 10 or 15 minutes. I'm not deserving of my shower until I've put some kind of exercise into my day. I know that sounds crazy and anal, but it just helps me realize, like, if I get up and shower in the morning, then I'm going to say, oh, I'm already showered. I'm not going to work out today. So I'm lucky I get to work from home. Granted, I do work from home, but it's really great that, like, at the end of the day, when I take that shower, I know I've earned that shower in some way. Okay. And it should be fun. For real. You should just make your exercise fun. If you are dreading the exercise that you are doing, then don't do that exercise, right? Just don't. And for me, I love to socialize. So I love to book a little time with friends to go walking in the neighborhood. So I'd be like, hey, can you come take a walk with me? So I'd love to do that too. So make it fun, whatever it is for you. Okay. And then now rest. Okay. So we hit water, sunlight, healthy fats and foods. And now let's talk about rest. Okay. Did you know, actually, Tina, do you want to throw that graphic up there? That was so good, that quote. Did you know that women actually need more sleep than men? I learned this today. So cool. So this quote is, the more of your brain you use during the day, women do use more, the more of it that it needs to recover, and consequently, the more sleep you need. Women tend to multitask. They do lots at once and are flexible. And so they use more of their actual brain than men. Because of that, their sleep need is greater. Do you hear that? Now tell your husband or your children this too, right? No, you need sleep. Thanks, Tina. So interestingly enough, I learned this fact from Tina's studies that she's been doing and her health studies, that in 1960, the average night's sleep was between 8 and 9 hours for an adult. In 2000, that dropped from 8 to 9 to 6 to 7 hours of sleep. That doesn't mean it's okay. That just means that's what it dropped to. So we really should aim to get 8 or 9 hours of sleep a night. And obviously, the more restful sleep, the better it is for you, and the more useful sleep that it is. So we have so many tools in our toolbox for sleep. I'm going to tell you what I do that works for me. And I will tell you that most mornings I wake up thinking, oh no, I have to go to the bathroom. It's the middle of the night and I open my eyes and it's almost 7. I'm like, yes, the best. So here's what I do. I have a system. I'm again, total anal, have to have the system right on my nightstand. I keep CBD, cinnamon. That's my favorite. I put that under my tongue before I go to bed. I roll rutabaga on my feet, and I spray some magnesium oil on my feet. You can get that at the health food store. I highly recommend it. Also helps with digestion. So magnesium oil, rutabaga on my feet. And then I roll cedarwood on my brainstem, on the back of my brainstem. Actually cedarwood vetiver combination in a cedarwood bottle. And that is it also, so all of these things are helping. Cedarwood helps boost your melatonin levels. CBD helps reduce inflammation in your body, also helps with calming your body down. Rutabaga, we know, is like the bomb diggity for calming and sleep. So all of these things, and also magnesium is so good for your sleep, also helps with muscle cramps. So if you're someone who, when you fall asleep, you get a cramp in your leg, which happens a lot for women and men both, that's a great thing to have handy. So that is what works for me. Okay, let's see, what are some other things? So other things for, if you tend to get leg cramps at night, amino wise is amazing. My husband like literally used to get toe cramps and leg cramps and all kinds of things. He swears by amino wise. Some other oils that you might like to try if you're like, I can't handle rutabaga. Just by the way, if you smell rutabaga, think chocolate and it'll change the smell for you. Quick tip. Okay, sleepy eyes, peace and calming, tranquil, lavender. I mentioned cedarwood and vetiver. Also a huge one is release. If you've got a lot of stuff you're just processing in your head, emotions, one of my faves is the oil release. It's a fantastic one. And then make sure you're turning off your phone and keeping all your devices out of your space. If you can at night, and try to have some time from turning off your phone until going to bed so that your brain can calm down and you don't have that blue light that you're dealing with. Okay, I tried to shove a ton into a little amount of time. All right, I'm going to hand it over now to Tina, I'm handing to Missy. Missy, let me spotlight you.
Right. Hello, everybody. I'm going to do my best to squeeze as much information into a short amount of time too. So here we go. So the next thing that we're going to be talking about is emotions. And I'm sure that every single person on this call can relate to emotions and potentially not necessarily knowing how to regulate them the way that we would like to and need to. So I'm going to share a little bit of my stories. I have been a serial entrepreneur for over 20 years, and I have been go, go, go mindset for most of that time. In the last few years, I'm going to say 6-ish years, it's been even more hyperdrive mode. And let me just say that I feel like a lot of society has kind of conditioned us to be that way. If you're not going and doing it real hard, then you're lazy. So I bought into that. And last year I went to the doctor and got diagnosed with Hashimoto's. Had no idea that was even on the radar. I was just tired and I was gaining weight and my muscles and my joints were achy, and that was it. And honestly, I really just thought it's because I'm a mom and I'm a business owner and I have 3 kids. That's just the way that it is. And I'm over 40. That's what happens. And that's not true. So if you are experiencing anything like that, I just want you to know that there is more for you. It does not need to be like that. And so through this journey, and I know that it's just been a few months, but I have jam-packed a lot of learning in those months because I want to change my family tree. There's a lot that I can do for myself, but there's even more that I can do for my family and my friends and the people that I get the opportunity to come across and educate. So one of the big things is emotions. And a lot of us stuff our emotions. Actually just read this amazing book called It's Not Always Depression. And it really just focuses in on how we need to learn how to call out what our core emotions are, to feel them, experience them, because when we don't do that, we stuff them down, and a lot of times trauma can happen and diseases and illnesses can happen if we don't do that. So Tina, through a lot of what Tina is learning, Tina, do you have the depression slide, the depression slide? If not, I can read it. But depression is the leading cause of disability in women. Anxiety disorders rank among the top 6 causes of disability in women. And a lot of that can be a lot of different factors, but here are some things like the pressures created by multiple roles that women have, along with gender discrimination, poverty, malnutrition, overwork, domestic violence, sexual abuse are all common factors that women deal with. Some women are dealing with a sense of loss, infertility, humiliation, or entrapment, which further leads to depression. So we want to act on these, like I just said before, we want to learn how to recognize how we're feeling, but also if we have a lot of these other things that are going on in our lives, we want to learn how to act and not react to the situation. So you can get help from family members, from professionals, from just asking for help. That's something that I think that a lot of women have a difficult time doing, is asking for help. It's okay to not do it all. We were not meant to do it all. We can wear those capes proudly, but part of wearing that cape is knowing when to ask for help, and it's okay to do that. Okay, so I want to talk about a few different things that we can do in our homes every day to help with our emotions, to help with our stress levels. The first thing that I want to talk about is the Good Day Protocol. So the Good Day Protocol was developed by Gary Young. And if you have not done this yet or challenged yourself to do this for 30 days, I'm going to give you that challenge right now, because it will change the way that your day goes. Start it in the morning, do it in the morning, and you will see a difference in the way that you react to things. And so let's talk about that. So you need valor, highest potential, joy, white angelica. So you need those 4 things, and there's a process that you'd go through with each one of those. So with valor, you're going to place valor on your left wrist and on the inside of your wrist. So you're gonna put your wrists together so that both of the wrists are touching, and that's balancing your body. Okay, and then you're going to take highest potential, and you're going to drop one drop of highest potential above your belly button. Okay, and this will calm your mind and promote positive feelings. Then we take joy. So we do 1 drop of joy above your heart to bring about feelings of happiness to your mind and body. And then last is white angelica. So you do 1 drop of white angelica in your palms, and you rub them together, and then you lightly brush your hands over your head, your face, your shoulders, your body, to uplift your spirits and protect your energies. So that's one thing that you can do every single day to help promote with your emotions. So one other thing that I want to talk about is supporting your limbic system. So if you're not familiar with the limbic system is part of the brain that is involved in our behavioral and emotional responses. And so inhaling scents that lift you, like citrus oils. Citrus oils are really happy oils, like orange, lemon, grapefruit, citrus fresh. And then you can do blends like joy. We talked about release already. Hope, forgiveness, and trauma life. Those blends were specifically designed to help facilitate and process negative emotions. Then there's the blends like Valor that I love my Valor. Kid Power, if you have not used Kid Power yet, you need to. It smells so good. My kids love that one. Into the Future, Envision, and Motivation. They have been specifically blended to empower your thoughts and emotions to move forward with bravery and confidence. Another great thing is the Aroma Freedom technique. That is fantastic for that, or raindrop sessions. Those are great for all emotional stuff. So let's also go talk about again, we as women are always on the go. We're doing. Whether it's for ourselves, usually it's not, it's for everybody else. And so we're tired and our adrenals can get taxed. So your adrenal glands are small organs above your kidneys, and they respond to stress by releasing hormones like cortisol and adrenaline. And these hormones are part of your fight or flight response, and they increase your blood pressure and your heart rate. So one of the things that I like to support my system with is Cortistop. I take that before bed. So Cortistop is designed to address the way women's bodies react to the cortisol produced under stress. So who could not benefit from this? Because when cortisol is produced too frequently, it can have negative health consequences such as fatigue, difficulty maintaining healthy weight, and difficulty maintaining optimal health of cardiovascular systems. Cortistop helps the body maintain its natural balance and harmony and supports the glandular systems of women with a combination of pregnenolone, herbs, and essential oils. Another fantastic supplement that you could be putting into your regime every day is Super B. This is one of my very favorite, I will always tell people this is one of my very favorite supplements that Young Living offers. Super B contains all essential B vitamins. It promotes healthy energy levels. It contains vitamins that help support a healthy mood, and it supports the cardiovascular system. And also supports cognitive function. So Super B is a comprehensive vitamin supplement that provides all 8 B vitamins. It is the one-stop shop with B vitamins. Just a little thing, if you've never taken Super B, I always tell people that just don't be alarmed if your urine is the color of the pill, because your body is going to process the B and it's going to eliminate it's just going to come out when you go to the bathroom. And don't be freaked out. You're okay. But B vitamins are huge. It also has nutmeg essential oil in it. That's fantastic for your body systems as well. It has a lot of other good things in it as well. Magnesium, I can never say this one, manganese, selenium, and zinc. So selenium is also really good for your thyroid. So if you have any issues with that, B is really, really good. Okay, I want to talk about multigreens for a second, because multigreens is, I say when I have any adrenal issues, my powerhouse is Cortistop, Super B, and multigreens. Those are the 3 that I take to help to support my adrenals. And let me tell you why, because multigreens, I just love them. Plus, most people are probably not getting enough greens in their diet. So this is great, especially with kids that can take the pills. But multigreens delivers a combination of greens such as spirulina, alfalfa sprouts, barley grass, bee pollen, I can never say this one right, eleuthero, Pacific kelp, and more to support overall health and well-being. It also has Melissa essential oil in it. So what are the benefits of bee pollen? I'm not going to go through all of these, but I just wanted to highlight a few of these. Bee pollen can relieve inflammation, works as an antioxidant, boosts liver health, strengthens the immune system, works as a dietary supplement, eases symptoms of menopause, reduces stress, and can speed up healing. And spirulina benefits, it's a powerful antioxidant and anti-inflammatory, can lower bad LDL and triglyceride levels, and may reduce blood pressure. And then alfalfa is a high protein. The antioxidant has antioxidant vitamins A, C, and E, vitamin K4, and magnesium, calcium, potassium, phosphorus, and iron. Alfalfa is known for its deep root system, which can grow up to 49 feet. According to some studies, it benefits kidney conditions, bladder and prostate conditions, increases urinary flow, high cholesterol, asthma, osteoarthritis, rheumatoid arthritis, diabetes, upset stomach, and there's a bleeding disorder. I cannot pronounce this. And then last but not least, I like to support my endocrine system with EndoFlex. So EndoFlex I put it right here on my throat. You can also put it on your lower back. Their Vitality Endoflex, you can put it underneath your tongue or put it in your water. Why is it important to support your endocrine system? The endocrine system, what does it do? It works with your metabolism, the way that you break down food and get energy from nutrients. It promotes, it helps with growth and development, emotions and mood, fertility and sexual function, sleep, and blood pressure. So we as women are doing all of the things, and we need to support our systems. We need to be kind to ourselves. Like Ali said before, drinking lots of water, getting out in fresh air, giving ourselves a break. But we have lots of products that can also help support our systems and emotions. Feeling those things, that's a whole nother class. But and then we have the hormones, but that we have another hormone, a pre-recorded hormone class that we're gonna put, oh, Tina just put in the link here. And so I think I am done. I'm gonna turn it back over to Tina.
Oh my gosh, are y'all just learning so much? Like when people say, "Hey, Tina, how did you deal with your diagnosis that you dealt with?" And for anybody that doesn't know, my story is in 10 years ago, 2012, that seems like yesterday, but wow, 10 years. I was told that I had fibromyalgia, and I did not want to have fibromyalgia, and I did not want to take this stack of prescription meds that the doctor was giving me. So I just hit my knees. I started praying, asking God to just show me ways to heal my body naturally. And if you've heard me speak before, I am a firm believer that our body was created to heal. We just have to give it the right environment, right? And so we have learned so much already in this last 35 minutes about how our bodies can heal. And so when somebody says, "Oh, what did you use?" I'm like, okay, this is a long conversation. How much time do you have, right? So in addition to what Ali and Melissa have talked about, toxins were a big thing for me because I was in the beauty industry. And I know not everybody can relate to that, but we as women typically have so much exposure to toxins. The VOCs, the volatile organic compounds that, we think about the paint when we shop for paint. Oh, we want a low VOC paint. Well, why is that important to us? I mean, when we're not maybe even looking at the VOCs that are in our deodorant or our cosmetics or our personal care products or our air fresheners. You guys, it's so important. If you are still, sniffing all the candles and doing all the things with all of those smell good things, you can replace them right now with diffusers and pure essential oils from Young Living. We have 2 beautiful diffusers that have actually been discounted now. So you can afford to put a diffuser in every single room, and you can be boosting your immune system, boosting all of the systems that we've talked about, instead of exposing yourself to those toxins. So, if you haven't been to any of our Ditch and Switch classes or our classes on clean products for your home, then you want to look at some of those as well, because those are, those could take up time all in of its own. Another area that I had to really work on with my health was digestion. And we've done classes on digestion in the past, but it would not be a complete class for women's health if we didn't look at that. I know Ali already talked about food, and I typed out in the comments, JERF, JERF, just eat real food. But so much of our food is void in the nutrients that we should have to be able to break down the food. You are seeing a lot of people being diagnosed with something called leaky gut. And that is a real problem. And it comes from a lot of the toxins that are in our food and our inability to break it down, and an improper microbiome in the gut. And so as we're looking at supporting our digestion, we want to make sure that we're actually having elimination every day. You should be going 10 to 15 minutes, maybe 20 minutes, 30 minutes after every meal. If you're not, look at how much water you're drinking, look at the foods you're eating, but definitely be supplementing with things like Essential Zyme 4, Allerzyme, Detox Zyme. We've got a wonderful stool relaxer that help you have a smooth movement called comfort tone, and of course, making sure that you're getting half of your body weight in ounces of water every day. And if you're not, make sure that you are doing that. And if you're pregnant or nursing, you need even more because your baby is pulling a lot of that water from your body. So definitely look at that water intake. With digestion, of course, we love digest, we love tummy jize, we love being able to incorporate our oils like fennel, tarragon, different things to help our bodies be able to digest. It's through that digestion that we're getting the nutrients for the rest of these body actions to take place. And it really does affect things like the liver, the pancreas, and all of the other systems in the body, your blood. And another thing with my fibromyalgia, which I've completely healed from, by the way. I am not experiencing any symptoms at all anymore from that. I breezed through menopause, never even knew anything was happening, didn't have hot flashes, just it's been wonderful, right? And I attribute that to this lifestyle. It's a preventative lifestyle. But when I was struggling with the pain and inflammation, I attributed a lot of what was causing it to the foods I was eating. So I cut out gluten and most grains, and I cut out sugars and artificial sugars. I cut out my diet sodas, all that aspartame I was drinking through my diet sodas. And I really looked at what I was putting into my body. Now, am I completely gluten-free now? No, I enjoy some products that have gluten in them now, but I shop for things that are non-GMO and organic in nature and cleaner grains like einkorn from Young Living. And so those things my body can break down, and I'm not introducing more Roundup, glyphosate, the herbicide. It's in a lot of things. So I'm making sure that I'm not getting that in. But when I do slip up, and we all do, right? You go on vacation, maybe you are just comfort eating. I think all women do that. And I do experience pain and inflammation, then the things that I can grab are things like Cool Azul pain cream, Deep Relief. My Ningxia Red makes a huge difference, by the way. Golden turmeric is phenomenal. Turmeric, we know, is wonderful at helping the body's natural response to inflammation, and so is Copaiba Vitality Oil. So that golden turmeric with some Copaiba involved in it, with maybe some hot water, you can even put it in Ningxia, cold or hot. Grab yourself one of those battery operated little frothers, because those are super affordable, and it mixes all of your powders into your liquid, makes it so much more fun to make and to drink. And of course, things like Agiles, which also has the turmeric in it. I love BLM. It's a supplement that stands for bones, ligaments, and muscles, by the way. And also things like peppermint, Deep Relief. Love the CBD muscle rub. I mean, literally it's sitting right here on my desk because I have been in school and I'm taking a lot of notes, and my wrist sometimes hurts from all of that. So I just put a little of that on my wrist, and it feels great. But then of course the CBD tinctures as well, sulfurzyme. And I know that we've already covered this, but we can't say enough about multigreens. It's phenomenal. And of course, keeping your calcium levels up through things like MegaCal and Super Cal, which I hear is coming back in stock pretty soon. So you guys, we have covered so much, and there's so many more things that we could cover in this amount of time. But we like to keep these classes pretty short so you guys can watch them over and over again and share them with your customers, share them with your people that are friends and family that haven't experienced a Young Living lifestyle yet. And if you're a customer or and you're enjoying the benefits of these products and you haven't yet found your share link on the website, please go after this call and look at where you find your share link. You just log in, you click on those little 3 dots or the My Account, depending on which device you're on, scroll down and find Share YL. And you can share Young Living with anyone. I mean, why wouldn't you? I'm a firm believer that in this quote, it is the sin of the desert is knowing where the water is and not sharing it. Today, I challenge every single one of you to share Young Living with a woman in your life that you know needs it, because it is National Women's Day and we do need to celebrate one another. We need to stop looking at each other as competition, or she, I want what she has, or all the different things. We all do it, right? we are better together. Just look at this class. We pulled it together with multiple women that none of us could have done such a good job with it on our own, but together we are better. And so go out and share Young Living with somebody that you love, a woman that you want to help support, that their bodies are going to maintain the best health that they can to accomplish what they were created to do. And so that is your challenge today, is go and share Young Living. And so we appreciate you guys coming. We're going to turn off the recording.